So, I may not follow Dragon Ball Z as often as I used to as a kid. But, ugh, I'm not feeling good. I'm just trying to power through this video. But I recently came upon a video talking about, I guess, the Granola arc. And essentially, there was some lore drop that made me go, why isn't this like a Dragon Ball Z show or an anime? Why is this not an anime? And basically, Granola explains, like, the planet Vegeta was not the original homeworld of the Saiyans. The Saiyans' original homeworld was a planet called Salada. Get it? Salad, because they're all named after vegetables. Ha ha, ha 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 ha. And basically, it's a really cool story. Like, there was a cool lore drop there where essentially what Granola explains is that the Saiyans fought in a civil war that decimated the planet, and then they went to the remaining Saiyans that survived under King Vegeta went to another planet called that they renamed, and they basically committed mass genocide and took over the planet and named it like Planet Vegeta as like a big like fuck you to everybody. And I'm thinking to myself as I'm watching this clip, why are we not funding this? Why are we not getting this, and instead Toriyama's giving us Dragon Ball Muppet Babies for the next anime? Now, if you are excited for the next Dragon Ball anime, where they're becoming kids, most of the characters are becoming kids, that's fine. That's totally fine. I got no problem with it. And I've long kind of fell off the Dragon Ball train. But the thing of it is like, you would this is an anime, like a Dragon Ball prequel that isn't obviously Dragon Ball, the anime Dragon Ball, a Dragon Ball prequel series where we had the origins of the Saiyan race fighting like as big Azuru monkeys, and also Saiyan warriors blasting each other, and then they went to another planet, wiped it out, and essentially took it over. It's basically like the whole idea of it is that, from what it sounds like, it's like if it was Transformers, but the Decepticons won, then they went to Earth, killed everyone, and took over the planet. That's what it really sounds like. And I'm sitting here listening to all this, and I'm just like, holy shit! Why don't we have this? Like, at what point? Why don't we have an anime like this? I'm genuinely shocked that we don't have this as an anime. And there might be a few things. You know, obviously Toriyama gets creative say on everything. It's his creation. And maybe they just don't want to do it. But at the same time, it's like, that's a very marketable show. Like, focusing on Saiyans before they became Super Saiyans, bloody wars that were fought, the rise of Vegeta's father, and possibly his grandfather. I'm sure his grandfather was named Salada. And then it's like, King Salada, there's literally a civil war on the planet, and it's a war against Salada. The sun, or the planet, or me. Yes. Just blast him, freaking smart ass. But, yeah. Although I don't think it was Salada, I'm just making a Dragon Ball Z abridged joke. Because you gotta have those when you reference Dragon Ball Z movies. Or Dragon Ball Z franchise in general. Because, yeah, that's kind of the rule now. It's like, by law, if you ever bring up anything Dragon Ball, you have to make at least one reference to Dragon Ball Z abridged as a joke. And that's really how it goes. Anyway, getting back to my point, Dragon Ball... a Dragon Ball series where we focus on the origin of the Saiyans is a really neat idea. It would be brutal. It would be, everyone would be pretty much evenly matched. That's the other thing I find, that's another thing that I find fascinating about the idea of this anime, is that everyone would be so evenly matched. I mean, yeah, there would be elite Saiyans who would be wrecking shit. Obviously, King Vegeta, Vegeta, who may be, King Vegeta, who would probably be Prince Vegeta. We'll just call him Vegeta Senior. Like a young Vegeta Senior, either as a prince or he's a new ruler because his father got murdered, and now it's just total war for the planet. And it may not even be like the Civil War was... The Saiyan Civil War was like a good group and a bad group, and the bad group won. It could be both were awful, and it's just a all-out war. That's something cool, like kind of like a super-powered alien Game of Thrones would be a really neat idea to really play with, I think. And then like that could be a few seasons. Then the next arc, you could do this in arcs too. Like you could I don't think this would be a long series. That's another thing, is that I don't think this would be by any stretch of the imagination a long anime, but it would definitely have like some arcs to it. Like the first arc would be war, all out war between the Saiyan Civil War. Then we go out into the world, and essentially we go like it's just a migrant fleet of who's left of the Saiyans, and it'd be very much like the Viltrumites. That's another, like it could be like, again, you could do like a Viltrumite thing where only the strongest Saiyan survived. King Vegeta is now like leading this fleet, but there aren't a lot left, so they got to find a planet, and that could be an arc in itself, is where it's like they're voyaging around looking for another planet, and they're kind of even running into, like, I would even have like maybe they go to Namek, and then the Mechians are like, oh fuck off. And they're just like, cool, peace out. We'll peace out. We didn't want your planet anyway. Fuck you, greenies. And then they find their way to the planet with the Truffles. That's what they were called. The aliens were called the Truffles. And that leads to that arc of them, wiping out the entire civilization and establishing King Vegeta. And then and you may think, oh, then the arc's over. We've established Planet Vegeta. That's it. Like, that's the end, right? No. I would have another arc where the Saiyans, who are kind of still like, yeah, we won, we got Planet Vegeta, but now it's like they are, they're still kind of crippled. They're still like, we won because the Truffles weren't exactly the strongest race, and they were easy to bully off the planet and, wipe out. But now we are still like, it's now time to like rebuild our numbers. And that's when you bring in King Cold. That's when like King Cold shows up, and this leads to this arc of like the war between the quick war. It would be probably a little longer, but it would be like the subjugation of the Saiyans by Frieza, by King Cold and his family, and that's where we get to the end of the series, is the subjugation of Planet Vegeta by King Cold. And I think that'd be really cool. Like, it's not... And the other thing is, like... And I know what some people are thinking watching this video. This sounds nothing like Dragon Ball Z. Kind of the idea. Like, that's kind of the point. Is it connected to the Dragon Ball universe and it's a little more brutal? Yeah. I think a lot of us kind of want a little more... Something a little more with edge to it. But Toriyama, he's a great creator. And I think he has done a lot for the anime industry. But he is... As a writer... I'm not saying it as disrespected Akira Toriyama. I don't want that misconstrued, but like, he is kind of just he's just kind of bullshits his way through writing. Even he said he's bullshit through stuff. But like, you would have to give it, like, this is like, if anything has shown you, doing the Dragon Ball Muppet Baby thing, and that's what I just call it, I know it has a name, has kind of shown that, hey, he does it, like, it's clear where the priorities are on what the storytelling should be. Even though we just had several movies of, like, Gohan getting a new power, Piccolo getting a new power, and for all we know, that probably just got all reset, and it's only down to Goku and Vegeta getting all these superpower, getting back to, power. Yeah. So, I think that would be really cool if, like, Toriyama would be willing to let another writer take over and do that. And really play with that idea of like a Dragon Ball Saiyan prequel series. No Super Saiyans, maybe even... you could bring up the legendary Super Saiyan, like you could bring up that legend, and like some people are trying to reach that, like maybe even have like Saiyan scientists trying to like use like science and genetics to like create, like try to jumpstart a Saiyan's ascension into a Super Saiyan as like a super weapon in the Civil War. That was a lot of S's. I'm surprised I said that all without stuttering. But you could do something like that. There is a lot you can do with this. There's a lot you can do with that idea. Anyway, This is just a random idea I had for a video after seeing that clip, and I was like, why are, to quote Peter Griffin, why are we not funding this? So yeah. So you guys tell me in the comments below, would you guys want a Dragon Ball Saiyan prequel series focusing on, the rise of the Saiyan Empire and Planet Vegeta and all that shit? Just comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.